very warm welcome into the form where, again, we've got feature racing domestically. We look forward to 2-year-olds to the 4 out of Ellerslie. We're also heading to Otaki, the Otaki Gold Cup to look forward to, and plenty of action across the Tasman. We'll be keeping our eye on the Kiwis. So to talk through the action up in studio, as usual, got Leith Innes, Aidan Rodley. Good morning to you both, and looking forward to getting back to Ellerslie, Leith.
Yeah, I'm on course this week, Pip. A-Rod's got a touch tournament or touch practice or something like that going on, so I get a call up. So have to be on course this week, and look, a 2-year-old race is a time-honoured race. It's come up a little bit short on numbers, but there's a bit of quality there.
Yeah, geez, you look back through the history of winners, and he's just like littered with Derby winners. Jezebel won it before going on to an Auckland Cup and a Melbourne Cup. In recent years, Sharp and Smart, who won a New Zealand Derby, Quick Thinker, who won an Australian Derby. Further back to horses like Pay Me My Bail, who despite it being at 1600 metres, was good enough to run second in a Telegraph as well. So yeah, some really big names. Lion Tamer won in a Victoria Derby there as well. So looking forward to that race. Good undercard, good racing coming through from Otaki.
Yeah, that's an incredible lineup there. The names you mentioned. As I say hello to you, Bevan Sweeney. You'll be looking forward to Otaki. Some really good fields there.
Geez, that was information overload from A-Rod. He's been on fire this morning. He's been on that computer for hours. Coming up with that, very good morning to you, team. Looking forward to talking through the racing through Saturday, and the weather just continues, doesn't it, with really good conditions. I think we'll end up with a good 4 track possibly out of Otaki, and the Otaki Gold Cup has come up as a nice race, pretty difficult to work out, but we'll see if we can do the job for you throughout the morning.
Let's hope so. We need plenty of winners as we have a look at what is coming up on the form today. And we'll be starting with that feature out of Ellerslie for the 2-year-olds there too. The Champagne Stakes also heading to Otaki. Yes, our feature there, the Otaki Gold Cup. Some really nice open races on the programs at both meetings too to keep our eye on. And the 3-year-olds as well. Our usual segments. And then we will be having a look at Doomben. We've got the Doomben 10,000 where we see the likes of Jimmy Star. Also in the Rough Habit Plate, Solid Gold trekking across there, and our best bets to round out the show. So let's crack into it. So we'll head out to Ellerslie, see what the weather and track are doing for our feature meeting, Leith. We know what track we'll probably get, but what about the weather? Yeah,
look, the tracks, this goes back into a true position, Pip. Obviously a soft 5 at the moment. They've had 18 mils of rain in the last 7 days. From now to Saturday, it looks nice, clear weather, and look, they had a couple of little small issues with the track of late where there was some sort of fungi sort of worms or something, so hopefully it plays a little bit better this week.
Never want worms, do you?
No.
Normally it's good for your grass growth, but hopefully we just get Ellerslie back into the true Ellerslie that's been so reliable in recent times. Okay, well, let's have a look at the market for the feature here. The listed Champagne Stakes, race number 3 on the program. Excite, $1.70 is your favourite after a terrific win last start. The stablemate at $4.50 in this lineup, and then Royce at $7. He was really good when winning last start, Bevan. Are you happy with the $1.70?
Yes, I think all form indicators would take you towards Excite at $1.70. The horse that I saw personally was Oh Baby at Woodville. Gee, it was a good performance. It beat home a really, really sharp horse in Shamelia Kirk, who didn't race that kindly. It might be the big sharp improver, but lads, Excite is the horse I think most people in the country will be running through their multis.
Yeah, look, he was going to be unlucky to lose last start. He got held up at a vital time halfway down the straight. Small field, A-Rod. It probably looks to be tactics, maybe Oh Baby from Barrier 1, Michael McNabb on, maybe Dictate, or Excite sort of crosses and leads, or Grocer's Girl will be a little bit more positive from Barrier 6.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, Grocer's Girl, because they've got options from 6 of either can get forward, I think, sit outside the leader, who I agree is probably Oh Baby, or else they go back. And it will be tactical. It's not going to be a hard run 1,600 metres with just 6 2-year-olds in action, all of them having the first go at the distance. So I think it'll be moderately run, and it will be very tactical.
Okay, so tactics may play a big part in the race. As we get to Roger James, he's got 2 of the favourites in the race. We'll see how they've come through their effort at Te Rapa.
Their work yesterday morning was very good. I honestly could not split them. I thought Incandescent's work was outstanding. and the other guy, his work was as solid as, and he's always got more in the tank when he works. So yeah, they've both done everything right since they ran.
Was that the first real bit of testing work that you've done since the race?
Yes, it was. I might do a bit with Excite tomorrow again, Incandescent's ready.
Obviously, terrific performances. Can you assess them again on reflection?
Look, they're both going to be exciting in the spring, but I think they're both big chances in the weekend.
Yep.
Okay, let's take you back to the listed race here, the Veterinary Centre Stakes at Te Rapa, and this was, again, just such a good effort. He was getting held up there on the corner. You were a bit worried if you were on him, but once he got off Leith, a very nice effort.
Yeah, both runners in front of him. George had to sort of just slowly come out, and probably lucky that Bell Rebel sort of died at the same time. He was super impressive. He was soft of him on the line. He looked like he won with a little bit in hand. He had his ears pricked. Fought the run of Incandescent, and Grocer's Girl had the flashing light on her. Past the winning post, she really got into top gear.
Yeah, and even Royce out wide, who did reel off the quickest closing sectionals, runs the quickest last 8, 6, 4 and 2. Grocer's Girl with all the second quickest closing sectionals. Maybe you could be a little bit critical of Excite and saying, got a soft run, so you'd expect it to do that. But I agree with you. It was really soft on the line, and just like the way it quickened to put the race to bed just so easily. And because of that, I think looks to be a big improver. And Incandescent was a lot better, a lot stronger. So from that, I'd say Excite, isn't it, Bevan?
All form indicators take it that way. I suppose the interesting factor is these 2-year-olds getting up to the 1,600 metres, which just adds a few question marks. So that price, you'll have to make your own mind up on it. But I do think there was a few runs in behind Excite that indicated they'd run a strong mile. And Oh Baby adds a fair bit of interest. It was very, very good at Woodville, beating home a nice horse over the 1,100 metres. It's a quick step up to a trip. So look, I don't think I'll be having too much on at $1.70. I'll just watch a couple of good horses go around and maybe get a surprise from one of those further down the market.
Yeah, we certainly might. And just on the favourite too, Bevan, Excite, they obviously do, I think, a bit of him because he's nominated for the JJ Atkins here at Eagle Farm. As we have a look at our favourite blind raise at the moment at $4.50. There he is at $15, Excite. So if you like him and you think he can measure up with the Australians and you think he wins on Saturday, then you probably do want to grab that price there at around the $15. Now, we've heard about Grocer's Girl. Let's hear from Tony Pike on his thoughts and how she's come through the race.
Yeah, she's come through it really well. We're contemplating maybe turning her out after Te Rapa, but she's bounced through that run in really good order. And look, the big scopy filly that she is, we think the mile at Ellerslie is going to be really suitable for her.
I guess the best part of a race was late at Te Rapa. How did you assess it looking back?
Yeah, unfortunately, just no luck. She's a little bit outpaced early and ended up back second last, and it just never really got clear air the entire length of the straight, and obviously was really good late and through the line as well. So, probably unlucky not to go close to winning at Te Rapa with a clear run. Obviously, the smaller field on Saturday. Hopefully, she gets a barrier draw finally and an ounce of luck, but she's a really promising filly going forward. Obviously, even into a 3-year-old season up over further.
Yeah. What have you done with her this week leading in?
Not a lot. She had a very quiet gallop on Tuesday morning. Obviously, she's had those couple of runs under her belt and just keeping her fit and happy at the moment. And she's really well for Saturday.
And we knew from last time how keen Tony was actually on her too, and she didn't get all favours in that race.
No, she didn't. No, she was unlucky. She got back. They didn't go overly hard in the race either, but the best part of her work was past the winning post for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind it here, and especially if they can get outside the leaders. Yeah, I agree. There's enough upside, and she was good enough last time out to say that she can be competitive.
Yeah, really. And then what about this runner, Oh Baby, Curtis Pertab doing the late nomination, and Aidan asked why.
Just the field size, really. It's not really a race we targeted with her. She only broke her maiden just 2 weeks ago at Woodville, but she did it in really good fashion. So, look, we just thought with the size of the field, and it's a stakes race. She's a well-bred filly. Any black type will really add to her value. So we thought we might have a throw at the stumps there.
What about the step up in distance? I guess being a small field, it will be slowly run, so that will help.
Yeah, that'd be key. She's obviously it hasn't been a target, so she is going to go in a little bit underdone. But I think her class will probably take her, through. She's well good enough on her day. But yeah, if the races run slowly, it'll definitely give her a chance.
What have you done with her in training this week?
She's a horse that doesn't take much work, so she's only had the one gallop this week. She worked really nicely with an older horse. I'm very happy with her.
Yeah, why not roll the dice, Bevan? And of course, this was at Woodville. How does her form stack up to you?
Well, I think she's very, very progressive, and the factor I think that really helps her going from 11 to 1600 metres is at her trial she settled well back. She came from a long way off them. She came through them to win. This day, she just settled beautifully in behind Chamelia Kirk, who was very fast. Just popped off the back and got right across the top of them. Now, it is a big ass. But it's certainly a filly that's going to make it into a really nice 3-year-old with time. And look, if it was in the mix, it wouldn't be any surprise to me off that debut.
Yeah, look, she was really good. George was softer on the line as well. It's sort of even though it's a mile race, they don't look like they're going to have a lot of tempo. So it's going to probably be like they're going to jump out, go slow for the first 1,000 metres and be a sprint home. And on what she's done at the trials, she deserves a spot in the race.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, there's just enough in how easily that she did win on debut. She should get to the front without doing too much work here. And like you say, if they can turn it into a real sit sprint, get round the corner even and then go, then that's her best chance.
Okay, well, it's a small field, but certainly quality. Aidan, we want to know, who might emerge out of this race. Who's the one for you?
Yeah, obviously excited. We heard especially how Roger James was speaking after the Waikato Equine Vet Centre win. You could tell that he really likes him as a good progressive horse. There just looked to be, as Lee said, enough in the tank because he was so soft on the line last time out to be thinking that he should be winning this. And I don't mind the 170. I thought it was actually not a bad price as well.
Yeah, I'm off excited as well. It's a strong enough race, only small on numbers, but look, Grocer's Girl was really good last start. I got a bit of respect for her, and like you said, Royce sectionals were good last start. So $1.70 is a bit short for me though.
Yeah, I think the mile's the big factor, isn't it? From what we saw out of Te Rapa with these horses, who truly gets that, and it's hard to knock any of those horses who went through the line. I'm with Excite. I'm with you, Leth. I'm not going to get too involved in $1.70, but look, they really want to be wanting to be heading over to Australia, so it'll be screwed down to run on Saturday, and form indicators take you that way, but there's always question marks, 2-year-olds and a mile. So watch and see race for me. I wish there was a few more numbers in the race. For $100,000, you'd hope there'd be a few more around to run.
You certainly would, but so we've got the field that we have, so that's what the guys are liking with the favourite in our listed feature. From there, we're going to have a look at race number 4 on the program, the Open 1,300 metres, where we see December head up the betting. He's been backed to $4 into $3.60. Vegas Queen, a little bit of specking around her too at the $6.50 in from $7. And Yaldi, he's the only other runner going the other way. So what do you make of this, Bevan? Are you the person that's maybe backing in December, or are you going elsewhere?
No, I'm probably going to go a little bit outside the square. I think Vegas Queen just going up to the 60 kilos is a completely different kettle of fish on Saturday. December was good behind Lupo Solitario in the good mile. The Green Gallo strikes me as a little bit of value, but you have to take this horse on trust because we have got burn on a couple of occasions. But I thought the last bit of its work was really, really good. Frost Fears, a good mare at best as well. So, look, December might be the class factor, but it has to carry the 59, and we're getting some lighter weights down in this field. But yeah, probably deserved favourite in my mind.
Yeah, probably with the 60 kilo Vegas Queen, she probably looks the natural leader in the race from barrier 10. She's going to have to do a little bit of work though. So December, he maps to get a nice run just behind the speed. Frost Fears, hopefully she can take a handier position. Sometimes she's a little bit slower way out of the gates. The map looks pretty simple for me.
Yeah, I had Frost Fair 3 back the fence in my map. I just wondered whether, Super Photon, they were really positive last time. That, sort of almost reap rewards. There's a couple of big weight turnarounds here, and I think that's crucial to this race.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, really might be. What about Otaki Gold? He's been kept safe in the market. Let's hear from Sam Burgesson about his fresh up effort.
Yeah, he's going really well. He was a long time off the scene there, fresh up at Ellerslie. He went a good race. He's taking good improvement from it. Looks at a pretty sharp field, so he's in our Otaki as well, and he's just sort of waiting for the rain. Unfortunately, we've had a really dry spell, so he's going well, and his work here this morning was really good.
What did you ask of him training today?
Yeah, he just galloped up the back straight here solo. He goes quite hard in his track work, so we don't need to do a lot with him, but he worked really nicely and he recovered well, so he's ticking all the boxes. But yeah, like I say, it's a pretty sharp field, so he probably needs to step up.
It certainly is, but we are going to take a look at him finishing fourth back and fresh, obviously beaten home by the likes of Grangallo and Frost Fair. Who stood out for you in this race, Lee?
Yeah, I just texted Reece Trumpet before, so he's definitely going to Ellerslie, not Otaki on Saturday. So he probably looked like he might have just needed to run a little bit. He might have got run off his feet a little bit as well. They were going running strong sectionals up front. Good ride by Craig Grills. I thought he was good. Obviously, Haley's on him this week, gets the 2 kilos off his back as well. So, yeah, I like the run of Frost Fair out wide, actually.
Yep, Frost Fair really good. Runs the quickest last 400, second quickest last 800 of the race. Grangallo, the quickest last 400 and 200, both really good runs. But yeah, I just wondered whether that claim on the utilising Haley's claim is really key to Pokora Gold's classes. It comes in 2 kilograms better than both of those. Actually, I think 3 kilograms better than Grangallo. So yeah, just enough of a swing, and I think this race is all around weight swings.
Yeah, I like the run of Grangallo. I thought that was like an improver's run coming through them as well. Frost Fair has become a frustration slightly to me because we go back a couple of seasons and thought was going to be right up at the top level. Hasn't quite got there, but that was another good run. She still was a little bit unbalanced on the corner. So of all of them, I'm sort of sitting with Grangallo, but it's a pretty even sort of race if you're not going to go over to December.
It really is, and another contender in the market, although on the drift slightly is Yaldi. Let's hear from Andrew Forsman how he's going.
Yeah, really well. Look, it probably looked like he didn't finish the job off the other day at the Tarapa, but I think it probably a combination of things where he just peaked on his run late. 1,400 metres on a testing track probably just found him out, but I thought a good solid run.
This is more his trip though, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. He just needs genuine speed on to be able to sprint off, and it's very much a 50-50 proposition whether you're actually going to get that or not. But he's very well, and he is that sort of horse that needs things to suit. We took the blinkers off for a couple of starts. We're going to put visor blinkers back on this weekend, trying things to try and get the job done.
How's his training been leading in?
It's always good. He's a good galloper, he's basically a fit horse now. We just keep him ticking over and up to the mark, so no worries there.
And let's have a look at the effort when he does finish third. And as you heard from Andrew, probably not the right track, not the right distance, a lot more in his favour this time.
Yeah, if you backed him in the run, you're sitting here and you think he's $1.50, $1.25. Look, he's got blinkers on this week. Barrier 9's tricky for him. They're going to have to ride him back in a race. It doesn't look like they're going to go very hard either. He's one of those horses. He's a trick, isn't he? He's got to get there late. I think Matt, he's ridden him before. He'll suit him, but I was on him this day. I can't be on him this week, sorry.
I think this is a stronger race too than that race, and obviously completely different track conditions. We got to that day and it was we were in the heavy range, weren't we? And so this is get to an Ellerslie 4-5, so it is different. He's got the ability. He's a Group 2 winner on the track. We keep on saying it. So yeah, I know you hopped off this train, haven't you, Swens?
Yeah, look, the way he trotted up to them on the corner, I was pretty much in the queue. And for him to not go past him really frustrated me. Look, he's got the talent, as you mentioned, A-Rod, but I just can't go with him until he wins again, to be honest with you. He just trots up and then doesn't quite do the job.
Yeah, certainly does. But what about this one? She does do the job. It's Vegas Queen. She bounced back after a freshen up here and thought she was really good. And we know she loves Ellerslie. Yeah,
look, the race panned out really well for her. They didn't go overly hard. She sat outside the leader. Thing off for this week, she goes to 60 kilos. She loves Ellerslie. She only had 54.5 here. Where she was, she deserved to win. And she paid great money this day too.
Great money. We were all over it this day too. So, and she was like, I think the map special from that day. This isn't quite as clear cut on the map, and as well as Lee said, she's.
I wouldn't be surprised if she won, but I just
she's got the class. Definitely, she's a Group 2 winner as well. But up 5.5, you've got Super Photon going down 1.5 kilograms. It's a 7 kilogram swing on a 2-length margin. So really, and Super Photon gets to the speed without too much problem as well. They're 1 and 2 probably in the run with. super photo on getting that weight swing. It's, to me, it's just a hard race to be backing Vegas Queen on that, Bevan.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't be having her, but if it does win, which again, as Lee said, wouldn't be surprised, I expect a spray from Kenny Ray.
Oh yeah, there will be a big one. What about Roger James? Let's hear from him around our favourite, December.
Really well, and I think it'll suit him. He's had a little bit of time between runs. He went a bit strongly in the mile and first time, and you know, we've kept him pretty fresh for this, and I think he can go a big race over 13.
Okay, obviously the 1600 metres more of a test, but is it a distance we'll see him at in the future?
Probably unlikely. Never say never, but he'd have to learn to just relax a little bit better. He was okay at 14, but he was pretty strong at 16.
There you go, he's pretty strong at 16. He is holding favouritism. Are you with him, Leith, or elsewhere?
I found it a hard race to pick a winner. I was going to go Frostfair. I think if she jumps out and puts herself somewhere not too far off them, she gets in a nice weight of 56 kilos, $6.50, $2.30 a place. I thought she was great value.
Okay, the market's saying December here.
Yeah.
If you go back into that Easter handicap, I think the drop back in distance does suit December, but he's going up, what is he going up, 5 kilograms here? 6 kilograms, okay? So it goes up 6. Lockie, who's in behind him, who runs the quickest last 600 of that Easter handicap, is just as well suited back to the 14 and comes in 5 kilograms better on a less than 2-length margin. So Lockie's at crazy money at 12s. I know you're sort of thinking, get your head read on this one, but draws barrier 1 after running the quickest last 600 of it, an Easter handicap. I want to be playing Lockie, especially at the weights, you know, 5 kilogram swing on the favourite in the race.
Well, I'm just going to go with what I thought was the best run out of the Charm Rose race. I thought Green Gallo third up this preparation, 1,300 metres in assist. Joe Dawes aboard. The gate's niggly. That is a given, but look, it is a sort of horse that'll settle back, just try and get some cover and come at them with one quick run, and has been expensive on occasions in recent times. But I'll go with Green Gallo. I've just got a sneaking suspicion December might be slightly better the other way of going. Such a big horse. He just takes a while to balance up. But yeah, if outside of December, I'll be going with Green Gallo. Pip.
Okay, I like it. Everybody's split. There you go in the open 1,300 metres. And from there, we want to have a quick look at the 3-year-old race on the program over the 1,100 metres here, sponsored by trackside.co.nz. Biding My Time at $4, your open favourite from King's English, Bulgari and Zavu. And then you've got Ruby Rush. So really nice field. You can tell that by the market. As we move to the first race that we want to highlight, because most of these come out of it. It is the Cambridge Breeders. We'll see for the likes of Bulgari, who I thought was so eye-catching, Leith, coming up the inside, flashing late.
Yeah, look, it was a sort of on-speed sort of race as well. So those back markers, it was up against them. Bulgari was really good. Look, he was lastly on the inside with the blinkers on. Look, he had a sort of a clear run, but he didn't. He was held up a little bit, but I just think that the way the shape of the race was, it was really on speed. It was a race where it was really hard to make ground.
Yep, I thought his run was really good, and he's been doing this the whole way through. Like his run in the Uncle Remus was very similar, then given a freshen up leading into this. The format of this race should be stacking up really well into this. King's English are maybe just a little bit of a forgive run, because we know how good this horse was going back 3 starts. Big Confessara here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's decent form there.
Well, if you want to learn to kick the cat, back Bulgari, because it is a bit of a heartbreaker. Even that, when I went back and reviewed it, first part of the race was terrible, just missed away, then over-raced, and then there was just no option to go anywhere else. But this is the best one-win horse, I think, in the country, especially among the 3-year-olds. Should have been the winner of 2, 3, 4 by now. It's got all sorts of ability, and when the penny does drop, this will also be winning races on its ear and probably go pretty quickly through to open handicap if the penny drops.
Yeah, and that's the big if. We also like to say no animals are harmed when we're watching racing, as we get the best selection in the race now for you, Leith.
I'm just going to go for the barrier draws. I think King's English, barrier 1. Like you said, he has won there before. His run was good last start. On his day, he's definitely up to winning a race like this. I was a bit surprised that sort of Biding My Time's favourite, actually.
Yeah, well, I think that's mainly on speed in the race. It probably gets to the front here without too much problem. I thought the speed influence was hot card, but they get to 1 and 2, I think, in the speed map. I'm against kicking cats, but I'm going to go with Bulgari.
Actually, strangely enough, the ragdoll's gone missing, and if you go to the Martinborough info site, the ragdoll is missing. So if you see it around Martinborough, please send my wife Angela a message because we can't track it down, but it wasn't my fault, I can tell you that. Bulgari is the one I'm going with as well. I think with a little bit of luck, Bulgari can get a result.
I'm not surprised it's gone missing. It probably wants a break. Okay, from there, we need a best of the rest for everyone, Lee.
Look, I'm going to go like the Jim Collett train runner, Scalaria. Look, she's drawn the outside gate. Look, if she can sort of sit outside leader, I thought the $5.50 on offer was good value.
Yeah, we'll hear about that horse later in the show as well. I've gone to the first race, Silky Shuba. A resuming run was terrific last time out. Tarapa runs second, quickest closing sectionals, quickest 8.64 and 2. It's a really good race to start the program. So it's not clear cut, but I did like Silky Shuba. I think progressive enough too.
I'll go Box Moss. It's not a cat kicker, but it was certainly not great to Tarapa when it got held up. I've never seen a horse that hard held at the line, being beaten 5 lengths. Should have probably won the race. Didn't have a lot of luck. Chris Wood. Third up, Box Moss, race 2.
Go Box Moss, and that does take us to a break. After having a look at Ellerslie, up next we'll be taking a look at Otaki. Okay. Pleasure to have your company here on The Form. Now, before we do talk about the second domestic meeting on Saturday, we need our trial files for the week. What have you found, Leith, who really stood out?
From Avondale last week, pre-nup, well-named horse. The mare's called Weddings. She's running next Saturday at Ellerslie in the 1400 metre maiden 1400 at Ellerslie, and there's a bit to like about her. I know she was sort of stuck probably on the worst part of the track here, but she's certainly got a bit of promise. She's a nice big scopy sort of mare who's given the Roger James runner and Robert Wellwither given her plenty of time. She'll be ready to win next week.
Yep, absolutely, and a horse who had been scratched leading into this too. So go back to the trial, should be cherry ripe. For me, I'll take you to the jump trials at Cambridge on Monday, and this horse is Goosebumps under Jay Kozicek, just about to.
Well,
it gone to the front after just sitting outside the leader and just kicks away beautifully. Scores by a couple of lengths. Went to the paddock with the last start second over hurdles, so should be ready to go next time to the jumps.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, we've got to improve your camera skills, though. That's atrocious, Rod. This is Jolly Time.
Called the race as well.
Yeah, probably. This was won its first trial, but the improvement in its second trial and an off-track. Watch this, give him one. Jolly Time for Robbie Patterson. If it runs up to its trial form, I imagine that's very difficult to beat on debut.
Yeah, another special from the Robbie Patterson barn by the looks. So Leith kicks us off prenup. Goosebumps for Aidan over the jumps. How good is it to have jumps racing back? And Yaldi Time for Bevan. Make sure you note them down, and hopefully we have found you some future winners from the trials. From there, it is time to concentrate in on Otaki. And of course, it's in the beautiful Kapiti Coast, your neck of the woods, Bevan. Weather and track, are we getting a beautiful surface?
Yeah, I'm not horror-faneur. I'll take all I wrap up. But Otaki should be good for, I imagine. I haven't had a chance to get hold of Kane, but at the moment the track conditions are in that soft 5. And there's just no weather in the forecast. Cold morning, so we're not getting a lot of real heat through the day, but you would have to think, unless they put a little bit of irrigation, and they have put a couple of mils on through the week, that it's probably going to end up verging on the good fall going into Saturday.
And that's what we want when we're really in the depths of autumn. As we take a look at the feature, it is race number 7 on the program, the James Bull Otaki Gold Cup Bridal Train at $4.60. She's in from $5.50, so well found in this market. Zantabulous at $6.50 and Taliska at $7. So very open swings, but a bridal train, a little bit of specking around her.
Oh, well, she was really unlucky in behind Financier as well at Tarapa. She just got no room late. Look, I've got the forgive card out for who knows, and I'm going to ask Leith in a second just about what he thought of her performance, because I just thought she resented something the other day. Look, her ears were pricked as though she had a lot to offer, and she just didn't really put in. I don't know how much kickback there is at Tarapa anymore, but I'm playing the forgive card on who's knows who was at $10 on opening.
Yeah, I think the map's got it wrong here, actually. Electron will be leading. Bradman, The Scunner from the outside, I thought they'd go back as well. So, look, it looks like there's going to be a nice tempo for him to play in there as well.
Yeah, you'd expect that Electron and Capro will get forward. I doubt whether they'll be going forward with the Scunner. That seems a little bit weird. Talisker should be somewhere pretty close to them as well, but being a full field, there should be good pressure here.
It really should be.
Yeah, I did talk to Ashley Meadows earlier, so the Scunner, they're thinking of changing pattern and they're more than likely are going back.
Okay, there you go. So it's the Scunner going back. Now let's hear from Sam Burgesson. He's got Talisker in the race.
Talisker was really good at Te Rapa, up to the mile, should suit him. It looks like a good track down there, which he certainly needs, and he's got that good positive racing style. So he's certainly going the right way. He looks like he'll get in nicely at the weights, as will Xantabulous. Obviously, she come off a bit of a blip there in the barriers, which was really head scratching. She's obviously an older mare now, and she's probably one of the quieter in the stable, so bit of an off day and had a bee in her bonnet, but we've taken her back to the jump outs and had a couple of nice experiences in the gates, and certainly can't fault her at home, and her work was good here with Talisker on Tuesday. So 2 really nice chances at light weights and good opportunity at black type for both of them.
Yeah, tell us about that training gallop yesterday.
Yeah, so they worked together over 1200 here on the course proper. Actually, Talisker to the eye probably worked a little bit better, but Xantabulous, like I say, is an older mare. She can sort of save herself for race day, and hopefully, she can do everything well in the gates and get a nice run in transit. And yeah, they look 2 nice chances.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong race again, though, as it normally is. What are you thinking? Can you come home a winner?
Yeah, I think they're both really strong chances. Obviously need a bit of luck and barriers, etc. It looks like it's going to be a good track and they should all get their chance. And it is a strong, even race. So need a bit of luck, but they're both going the right way and another good opportunity at black type for them.
Let's have a look at Talisker too. This was a good effort, carried the 55 kilos or 55 and a half on this occasion. So as Sam said, Leith gets in nicely at the weights. Big step up though to 2200 metres.
Yeah, obviously with Bilardo Boy sort of pushes the weights down. Just a barrier draw for me, 16. He's going to have to do a little bit of work. It does look like there's going to be a nice sort of even tempo on the race. Hard to split them. Xantabulous is probably one that she just never goes bad race, does she?
Yeah, exactly. Had run second to Lupo Solitario with that horse going on to win a Group 3 Easter handicap. Got it wrong in the barriers last time for sure.
Unlike her because she's so quiet too.
Yeah, absolutely. Talisker just got the run of the race there, just capitalised on in the tricky barrier draw. But obviously you just got to respect anything coming out of the stable at the moment. They're winning everything.
Yeah, they are. From there, we're going to have a look now at Rudyard as well. We're coming out of this race. You've also got Teese and, of course, Bridal Train too, Bevan, who you can just see was so unlucky there.
She was, Bridal Train. She just runs into a brick wall inside the last 200 metres. And I think that she probably would have been right in play in a race where they sort of were on speed and, she's sort of looking for a run. Teese, I don't know, pass mark. Do you think Teese just a pass mark? But we know she's good at the mile. She hasn't won out of turn in recent times, and she's probably waited in the right spot to be really, really competitive. And I've got a feeling that this is a race that Els had in mind for a while.
Yeah, he's definitely set up for the race. It was a nice run. Yes, she was held up from barrier 4 this week. She's going to be probably 3 back on the 1 out. When Alan sets him for a race, he normally gets the result.
Yeah, and he did say that leading into that race as well. This race was the target. Teese really good on the clock. Runs the quickest last, 800, 400, 200. Bridal Train just seems to be a sense of time. The one who I really do like out of that as well is Rudyard. Boy, the run was good. In a race that really did favour swoopers. His effort for finishing 3rd. I know he's still going to get in the race. Yeah, he needs 2.
Barrier 2 though, he's going to get a nice trip.
I said there's a couple of jockeys not declared, so maybe that's 1 up or, maybe 2. So it wouldn't be the worst of chances.
No, you talk about stables going well too. It certainly is. And then what about Who Knows? This mare knows how to win on this day, actually. She won the Country Cup in rating 75 at this meeting last season. Sweens, you wanted to ask Leith something about this race. What did you make of it?
Well, she travelled really nicely to the corner, and then when Jonathan goes for it, if you look at her, ears are pricked. It seems to me like she had plenty to offer. Maybe it was just an off day for her because she never really put in like she can. That's my assessment of it. And I know Noel was scratching her head. maybe just an off day, Lethal? I don't know.
Some horses do that at Te Rapa. The sand sort of does come up and get a bit of kickback. Might have been the different colours, the Anzac colours. She didn't like them either. But look, she had every chance in the race, and I just put a line for it. She's better than that.
Yeah, absolutely better than that. But as well as that, we know her best form is on rain-affected tracks, and we got to a better track. That's the thing about this weekend. We're going to be running on a good 4. I want to see her on the really winter conditions. So that's why I was a little bit standoffish on her this week.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we do need one on top. Leith, who's it for you?
Who knows for me? I thought the $9 on offer, $3 a place. I think it just sets up for a horse that's sort of just off the speed. Fleur's never ridden her before, but 54.5 kilos off, which is good value.
I'm going to stick with Alan Sharrock here. I'm going with Bridal Train. I didn't think there's much between that Tees and Rudyard out of that Te Rapa race, which I think is a key form line, but just seems to be a sense of timing around Bridal Train.
Well, who knows? To beat Bridal Train running a 1:34.48 over a mile fresh, so look, I don't think she's hopeless on the better track conditions. I'm with Leith. $10 was an over with her, so I'm going to forgive a good horse 1. Look, if this was a little bit further, you just keep an eye on Cheval de Foudre. Look, Chase is unlikely to start in this race, so Cheval de Foudre will more than likely get a run. Wouldn't surprise me if he's right in this, if he's not winning it. And just look for Cheval de Foudre 2,000 metres. It'll be winning at short notice.
Okay, maybe one to pop into the combinations at least. From there, we are now going to have a look at race number 5 on the program. This is the open affair here over the 1,200 metres. Cindy for Alan Sharrock, another who's been backed in the market too. 460 into 380 from Otaki Gold. Now, we've heard he's not going there. He will be heading to Ellerslie as well. So this market's going to sharpen up a little bit, Sweens.
Yeah, look, Cindy said on speed, this was the race where we unfortunately lost Idyllic. And so I'm a Brazen One, actually got quite a big check and went up to win the race, and then Cindy had the better run and just kept on kicking. So she is a good mare. She has always had the ability. Look, if you take Otaki Gold, there's some decent sort of deductions coming out of this particular race. Just watch Go Hugo out wide. I thought he might be a really sharp improver into this particular race. Look, he's let me down on a few occasions, but he's clearly going well off this.
Yeah, well, you've no more cats to kick anyway, so he's not the only one to let you down. Look, I thought Cindy had all chances here. Like you said, there was that fall mid-race. I think the best thing about I'm a Brazen One gets the 2 kilos off his back, makes Cindy a lot better at the weights.
Yeah, it's a 3 kilogram swing on what was a long head margin. So, yeah, and I agree, Go Hugo's run was good, especially against those two who were on speed. But, I thought, I'm a Brazen One comes into this beautifully at the weights.
So is that the one for you, then, Aidan?
On top for me, I'm a Brazen One.
Yeah, I'll take it on top as well. I thought Debit's one you want to be watching.
Yeah,
goes good,
really
trolled
good.
up really good, and from barrier 3 will probably be leading the race.
Yeah, look, I agree. Debit, we remember as we got into the winter months, not last preparation, poor Debit was just putting on a row and really was showing great attitude. So return that would be great. I'm going to go Hugo. He ran the quickest last 8 into 200 metres, and that was with a fair bit of interference as the runner came back through the field. So, look, he's only won 3 from 4. He's been placed 18 times. So, if you're back to place, you'd be in front, which I don't do. So he has been a heartbreaker, but I'll go with him on Saturday over the 12.
Go each way as we move from there to a 3-year-old race over the 1,200 metres. Another really nice race on the card too. London heads the betting at $3.30, from Cremont at $3.60, and then Bell's Boom at $4.20. So those 3 dominating the market. We want to have a look at Cremont winning at the Otaki last start. Back in fresh here, thought this was a really good effort. And the thing is too, Bevan, 2 from 2 at Otaki.
Just needs rain, Cremont. And I don't think it gets it on Saturday. It's a different horse on good track conditions. So I'd be a little bit surprised if it runs on a good 4, but you give this horse a little bit of cut out of the track and it's often gone. Nice horse with the cutout, Amber Adele. It's the sort of horse I think in time could be Opanaki Cup, Winter Cup, that sort of horse, just for the handles cut out of the track. But look, it won't be my selection on Better Growing on Saturday.
Yeah, being by Bilardo, she does love the sort of heavy track. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty hard sort of race to sort of pick. I was sort of on London, just on its last 2 wins. They were really strong.
Yep, London's got to be hard to beat in this. I'm going to be a little bit more forgiving on Shameless Star,
yeah.
but I think we're going to have a look at London. And obviously going really well. The last two have both been wins, has been to the trials and run a really nice trial leading into this one too.
Yeah, I know Stephen Gray's got a really high sort of opinion of her, and gets Kelly on this week. Bruno suspended. Well placed at the weights of 56 kilos, barrier 4. Nice, easy sort of day out here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
The Hawke's Bay track looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good filly. She's got a lot of size and scope to her going forward as well. She was very good winning at Hawera. They've had to be careful with her because she's really big framed and lightly raced, but I think she, out of Cremont and London, she will be the one that enjoys the better track conditions the most. Small field, good draw. So I'm clearly with London on top in this particular race, and I'm quite happy to take the price on London. I think she's a filly going places.
Okay, so London for you, Bevan. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, I'm off London as well, $3.30. Kelly was suit. Nice gate in barrier 4, and that trial there was super impressive.
Yeah, absolutely was. I just like the fact that Shameless Star is really having a big drop back. This is nowhere near the same sort of quality as the Cambridge Breeders last time out, and we know how easily she won 3 starts back. She's a winner of a couple with good tactical speed, so I'm prepared to give her a forgive and put her on top.
Okay, fair enough. Well, those are the races we wanted to look at in depth. What about something else to follow on the card though, Lise?
He's a little bit hard to catch, Gennaro. $5.50. He's not an easy horse to ride, but if he puts his best foot forward and runs straight, he'll be winning race 4. It's not an overly strong field. $5.50 on offer, Bevan.
Yeah, look, I will take you to the first, actually, of Otaki. Beautiful lass. Went around in some really good company last preparation. The filly, she said, 1 run back in this. Was on a good 4, and I think they came home that day in 33 and just a couple of clicks of change over the 1,000 metres. 1,400 metres will suit a lot more. Amber Adele taking a kilo off. In the right race for mine, Beautiful lass, race 1, Otaki.
I'll go to the following race to Albarossa. Just a little bit of concern, there's no jockey declared as we're on air for this on Thursday morning. But the last win, geez, it was some sort of effort. I really like the horse, back in form, looks to be a horse who can carry on with it from the Grey stable. So Albarossa race 2.
Okay, that's what you need to be following at Otaki. For us now on the form, we're taking you to another break. Off the other side, our black bookers, and we concentrate in Australia. Doomben to look forward to.
The Queensland Racing Carnival is in full swing, showcasing the very best of winter racing with over $28 million in prize money and 8 Group 1s lighting up southeast Queensland. It's been a happy hunting ground for Kiwis in the past, and this year will be no different.
Jimmy Cassidy, Rough Habit, 3 Doomben Cups in succession. What a horse! Pinarello, Paternal, they hit the line in the Derby, and Pinarello.
This week, the attention turns to Doomben, with the running of the iconic Doomben 10,000.
The Bostonian driving through the Bostonian. The Bostonian's on the 10,000.
Catch every moment of the Brisbane Racing Carnival, live and exclusive on Trackside.
Oh yes, how good. And we have got more Kiwis heading across trying to take those Australian spoils. And Leith, we saw a little bit of a feature of you in there. It's a carnival. It's been good to you.
Yeah, it was sort of my working holiday, sort of go to Brisbane for a couple of months and play a bit of golf and ride a few winners. So it's a good spot.
I think 3 Group 1s in over the carnival over the years?
3 Group 1s. Yeah. 2 New Zealanders and 1 Australian.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing to sneeze at. But for now, before we do talk about Doomben, we've got our black bookers for you. And Leith, yours is an unlucky one. Yours is one that stood out.
Yeah, I just chose her because I love watching this horse race. Pride of Jenny. She's just, honestly, it's every jockey's nightmare and every trainer's nightmare to be running against her because the jockeys have to time it right.
Yeah.
If you're taking up the pack, you don't give your horse a chance. And like James has done everything right here, but Birdman, he's had a really hard run. So look, it's going to be interesting who backs up the best out of these two in the Doomben Cup. But she's just a marble.
She is. Just a champion.
Yeah, she is. She's rising 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan O'Sullivan wrote a really good piece just about her tactics and how hard it makes it for other jockeys and other horses in the race too. To me, I'll take you back to the feature from Rotorua last weekend. A horse who was struggling to keep up in the early stages, Platinum Diamond, just zips home. And this,
I think if the track was heavier, she would have won too.
Oh, stunning performance. And on the clock, it's just that fast superior. It's like 7 lengths faster than anything else over the last 600. So really nice performance from one who I want to be watching through the winter, because we know she does handle those heavy tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that race thinking she's got no chance, and then out of the ground. I'm going to take you Sunday Wanganui and a horse called Will in the Larry and Cullen colours coming down the centre of the track. This horse actually got held up on a couple of occasions. It trialled up well. Rock All Night is a good horse, and the second horse actually a real comedy. When it learns to behave, will be winning a race at short notice. But I love this horse late and what it had to do in the run. Look, if it stays here, it'll be winning its next start.
Certainly will be, and I think this mare will be too. War Queen, this hurts because she was my best bet. She was just, I just want to make myself hurt a little bit more. Jack Taplin just kept her in there on the Stephen Marsh's run just too late, and once she finally got out, she could not pick up. Overrated out there in front. Almost, gosh, this was hard to watch. Hard to watch again, but I think certainly follow her out of that race. She's gone very close in her last couple of starts. Should be winning next up, so that's what I'm hoping anyway. So that's our black bookers for the week. From there, yes, we are going to concentrate in on Doomben. Firstly, before we do talk about the Rough Habit plate, we look forward to the Doomben 10,000, where we see Jimmy Star. There he is, of course, the Kiwi bred with Kirimar, 270 out to 340. Private Eye lease, a real mover in this market though, $9.50 at $7. Bit of value here, particularly with Napoleonic drifting out in the market.
Yeah, Napoleonic, obviously James McDonald's down to ride it, but it needs one more scratching to get in the field. So, look, if he, at this stage, I'd say he'd be riding Beedman, who won really impressively last week.
Yeah, Beedman gets scratching to get into the field, I think.
And if barrier 1, 2, he's going to be some chance for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's a look at the market. Let's have a look at Jimmy Star. Now, he did finish third in the Group 1 All-Age Stakes last start. Such a good effort from him. What did you make of it, Leith, coming down the outside?
Obviously, what he's been racing against and what he receives on Saturday at Doomben, two different things. These are really, really strong, tough horses. He's been good without having a lot of luck. They're going to have to go hard enough up front because he's a back marker. He's one of those horses that's got to be ridden that way. Probably a little bit short for mine at the $3.40 though. Okay,
obviously one thing about him, we know he goes right-handed, and just going back into it as well, it looks like Napoleonic's got a run. There's a second scratching in the race, so we saw that Lady of Camelot was already out, but a Bounding's also come out, so that means that...
Take the $8 in.
So, yeah, so it looks like Napoleonic gets in. I know you're keen on Private Eye here, Leith.
Yeah, just is another tough old weight for age horse. Nash really suits him, gets on well for him. Best thing about him, he gets a nice gate, inside gate of barrier 3, where, look, he was at overs when he first opened, and I still think $7.
Yeah.
He's my bet in the race for sure.
Okay, yeah, for mine, I've gone with Jimmy Star on top, just like him, coming out of that Group 1 weight for age form. The horse who I thought was big overs here was a stablemate, another Will.
Yeah, trialled up really well.
3 of 5 fresh up. $27 has gone from 20s to 27, 2 trials leading in, and has run second in them both. And like you say, that most recent trial was super.
You're getting 31s now too.
31.
Oh, there you go. Put a little gold coin on that runner as well, another Will. From there, what about the Rough Habit plate? Now, we do see the Kiwi contender ahead across here. Solid Gold. She's sitting there in the third line of betting at $8.50. Just quickly, Leith, what do you think about the price around her? Would you back her?
Just the gate's tricky for a pip. She's drawn sort of one from the outside. Look, there was no direct flights either, so she had to fly to Sydney. She's got to float up. I know it's not, horses can do it, but it's, I'll be interested if she's going to run or not, just from the gate.
I think we're going to hear from Roger just about the travel and just how difficult it's been, but it's been made even harder now by having a wide barrier draw, so... Obviously, what was sort of her form here in New Zealand? It is top notch. She's going really well. She's undoubtedly a staying filly with real promise. It's just how this now fits after all the travel and now being laden with a really tricky barrier draw. Yeah, well, let's hear from Roger James and see how she is.
Yeah, look, she's had a big week. She galloped on Monday here. Went Monday night, was 9.5 hours stable to stable in Sydney. She treadmilled yesterday and will again this morning, and then she's got close to 12-hour trip up to Eagle Farm tonight, and getting there early hours of the next morning, and rough habit at Doomben on Saturday. The noms are big, so it's probably going to be a full field, I would say. And there's one or two new ones come into the field. Never easy over there at that level. She will be better suited for the Eagle Farm race. The Oaks 2-2 Eagle Farm will suit her better, but it's a month between runs. She's too good not to run a race if she gets any luck. But is she a winning chance? You hope so, but won't be devastated if she doesn't.
Okay, sounds like maybe bigger things in store for Solid Gold. So who have you got on top?
Yeah, I'm going to go the James McDonald, Chris Waller, Providence, $4.20. He's got a bit of a tricky gate, but he's definitely up to winning in this race.
Yeah, really good in the Frank Packer Plate last time out, which is a key form line. Another key form line is obviously the Derby form that One Step Closer brings. Has run fourth in a Victoria Derby, sixth in an Australian Derby, and prior to that had run really well in a Rosehill Guineas. So the fitness is there. We know the staying ability is there too. So One Step Closer. But fingers crossed, if we do see Solid Gold, that she runs a bottle and gets closer to obviously those end goals of classics in Brisbane.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to all of the Kiwi connections across the Tasman. From there, it's time for our bank builders. How are we going to build our TAB accounts nice and early, Lee?
Early race to it, Ellerslie Pip, Box Moss. Look, he's a previous winner on the track. We haven't seen the replay, but he was just desperately unlucky last start over a mile. Look, he's been spooked already, $12 into 8, and Chris Wood's horses are flying at the moment.
Yeah, but I went a race earlier to Silky Shoe, like the resuming run. Sectionals were terrific and just looked well placed, although it is a strong enough maiden. But I do like Silky Shoe.
I'm at Otaki, race number 2 on the program. Great Escape, previously trained by Rosie Myers, but she's had another little one. So now with Stephen and Kevin Gray. Look, this horse has had soundness issues. It was close up through the 3 runs last preparation. We haven't seen it for a while, but it has been trialling up like a jet in recent times. So I'm expecting a big performance. Race 2, Great Escape at Otaki.
Okay, those are your bank builders. Hopefully we've given you a nice early fill up at the meetings. From there, we take you to a break. Your best bets off the other side. Welcome back into the form. It's time for our best bets, but before we talk about this weekend's, the wash-up from last week, Bevan Sweeney, you get all the honours. A nice win. Pretty sure you got your bank builder up there as well.
Yeah, we've got to double up. We're going all right the last couple of weeks. I'll tell you what, Rock All Night was on tired legs in the last 15 metres. There wasn't much in it, so I did get to sweat a bit about that result, to be fair. And War Queen, as good as a win. You don't get paid, but should have won.
Yeah, I don't know about as good as a win, but should have won. Right, from there, what about the race form cover? Who graces it this week? Well, it is your favourite, Excite, there out of Ellerslie. Make sure you pick up your edition. All of the in-depth form in there, great articles, and of course those Doomben fields as well. From there, it's time to head back out to the track. Aidan's been busy collecting all of our track work tips this week.
I think that Volunteer's my best chance. 75 2100. He's going very well. So he just didn't do the track last time. This time it'll be Ellerslie. It'll be a better track. So hopefully rolls on home.
I got a few in on Hara on Sunday and a couple at Ellerslie, but probably Victorious Warrior would be my best shot on Saturday, Ellerslie.
Look, I've been flat tipping 1 for you, so I'll tip 2. Take the Quinella in the 2-year-old race.
I think Grace's Girl can turn the corner on Excite. Smaller field. If she gets clear air, I think she can give the favourite a run for his money.
We're pretty keen on Ruby Rush this weekend. She's won her last 2 going in. She's in really good form, and quick fresh in, and she'll sprint well fresh.
Yeah, geez, hard to take on Richie, so I might take on Scotty actually. I think King's English, obviously coming out of a pretty strong Cambridge Breeders' Stakes where he didn't have a lot go his way, and back to Ellerslie where he's won, and his work here was really good.
Yeah, I've got one at Ellerslie on Saturday, Shaniqua, in the 3-year-old 1100. 1100's going to suit. She's had one run back. Good draw is going to make it better, so a chance.
Aiden, I've only got one runner, is Scalera. She's freshened up and won a trial the other day. I'm pretty happy with her, so she should have a bit of a chance.
Mr. Chow and the 2-year-old at Hawera on Sunday.
I reckon Beetlegoose at Hawera. He just a bit disappointing last start, but we found an excuse for him, so it looks a nice race for him.
There you go. There are our tips for the week. Make sure you take a screenshot of this or a photo. Hopefully we've got you more winners this weekend from the track. And then what about ours? It's time for our best bets. Over to you, Leith Innes. Who have you got?
The Scone Cup on Friday, Pip. Tabby Time, the New Zealand bred Pink Arrow starter. They took it for sales. He's a really good horse. He's won 10 times from 30 starts. He won the race last year. He's got top weight of 59 kilos, but the price on offer is $6.50. It's yeah, I'm all on him on Friday. He is in he's in at Doomben, but he's definitely running on.
Okay, good to know. Good. Yeah. I'm just going to go with the favourite in the feature and going to Excite. Just I really like what we saw at Te Rapa last time out. Everything seems to suit to the 1600 metres of the feature, and yeah, we're going to go with the race form, taking the shorts on the 175 on Excite.
I had hope for you, A-Rod, when you tipped that $10 winner. We've gone back to the normal process here. 30 years I'm trying to do this. Here's Secrets. Race 7 at Hawera on Sunday. Got 2 6s in its form line. Probably should have won this race, so I'm with El Sharok, race 7, Hawera.
And I'm giving Inside Out another chance. Was my best bet a couple of weeks ago. Disappointed. Second up at Ellerslie, where he's been very good in the past. I think he can get the job done for the Weatherlies, and a bit of a jockey change there too. Michael McNabb, so I think he might just be a touch handier in the running. That's my best bet. What about the Whale? Has he jumped in this week to kick us off? Yes, he has, with Mozart at Addington in the last race on Friday night there. Make sure you tune in to, of course, Friday Night Lights. So for myself, Aidan, Pip and Bevan, all of our bets are there. And we thank you for watching the form as always. Thank you, team, for all of your input. Good luck to everybody, especially those Kiwis across the Tasman.